those details. We're now shifting our focus to the other big story that we're tracking. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has expressed concern over increasing instances of illegal loan apps offering loans to vulnerable and low-income group individuals. These loans are given at high interest rates and there are hidden processing charges as well. Now, the Reserve Bank of India will be preparing a whitelist of all the legal apps and will ensure that only these whitelist apps are hosted on app stores. A number of other regulations are also being put into place by the central bank. This comes just a day after another loan app scam came to light, this time around from Andhra Pradesh, where a couple died by suicide after taking a loan of 1,000 rupees via an online app. The couple was threatened by the loan administrators as they couldn't pay the loan on time and they subsequently consumed pesticide. Let me bring in my colleague and senior editor Pallavi Ghosh to understand what are the steps that are going to be taken by the RBI. Pallavi, the biggest problem as far as these apps were concerned, that most of the people who were targeted by these apps or these scammers, the apps looked like real ones. They raised no red flags, neither while the money was being sent or the verification was being asked. And that's how a lot of people actually fell prey to this. What are we now understanding? What are the guidelines that are going to be put in place as far as this whitelist that is going to be concerned?
So basically what the government is going to do is going to come out with a list of what they call the genuine and recognized apps through which you can apply from loan. The worry is not just that. The worry is that normally the people who have been targeted are those who are either not very literate or from the low income group and therefore very, very vulnerable to apps which look seemingly very, very genuine. There's no way of cross-checking them. And therefore, the government plans to come out with a long list of recognized apps through which you can apply for loans. Disseminating information is still going to be a kind of a challenge, but it is here the ministries are going to be the Finance Ministry, the Corporate Affairs Ministry, and of course the RBI. Now, if you would have noticed the trend of the last few days, we've noticed that what the government is trying to do is to create awareness as far as online frauds are concerned, not just restricting itself to these loan apps, but for example, where someone calls you up, asks for your PIN number, you give it away, and then you are cheated of money from your account. So this is just step one, is what we are picking up. The government plans to take some more such measures to ensure that online fraud is reduced and people do not fall prey to it.
Okay, Pallavi, thanks a lot for getting us those details. Let me bring in our guest joining us to take this discussion forward. We have cyber law expert, also an advocate at the Supreme Court, Khushbu Jain, now joining us on the broadcast. Khushbu, good to have you on the broadcast with us. As I was discussing with my colleague Pallavi, let's break it down. How are these apps and scammers being able to scam more and more vulnerable people? One, they target people in such a way. They find the most vulnerable who are desperate, who are short of time. And it's almost like a clickbait because the notifications that are put out by these apps say that you can get a loan without any caveat attached. So people feel that it's no frills attached and I would be able to get my loan easily. As far as how they look on the app store as well, they don't raise any red flags because they look like just any other app. So what is the responsibility of these app stores and others as well to try and have a better filtering system?
Absolutely. I think earlier also I was listening to your talk and all we're talking about is educating or creating awareness. But we are talking about people who are vulnerable. We can't expect them at the time of vulnerability or at the time when they are in need to apply prudent mind. Hence, I think what you're suggesting that it should be from the grassroots level. It should be from the level where it starts, it percolates. That is App Store. Why not App Store should have a liability that they need to check whether they are genuine or not genuine in real-time basis and keep on blocking those websites. See, now problem comes with the App Store also that they look so genuine and they are so absolutely identical to how it is. And in India, practically they don't have a list of regulated entities which are authorized by the government, by the RBI, that these are the only entities which can give. If you have a list and you provide those lists to these app stores, that in India, apart from entities which are regulated or which are registered by the RBI, are the only one who can disperse loans, online digital loans in Indian jurisdiction. Apart from that, no other company, no other entity can disperse loan. So that list can be corroborated, can be given to all the app store and restrict them that at least in Indian jurisdiction, apart from this, none should come. Because see, what happens is today, even if I get to know that or as an individual, I get to know that this is illegal, it's a very tedious step to go cross check. See, what happens is it's a circle. It's a circle as to loans are given, have taken the till the time there is a default and some suicide or some mishap happens is where police comes in action.
Yeah.
So, the process has already been done. And the moment they go and they block it from the App Store say that, okay, I'll block this or I'll,
but
take
by
this
then the money is already gone. It's too delayed by then.
Apart from being down, what happens second is there are thousands of websites which will come again tomorrow because it's a very nominal fee for you to come again.
The other issue also, Khushbu, is what is actually resulting in these very unfortunate deaths and suicides is that all these loan apps, they actually take all your personal data, and this is where the harassment begins. Like, look what happened as far as this couple from Andhra Pradesh were concerned. The usual threat given is that if you don't give us the amount that we're asking, we'll release your personal information in the public domain. Usually they're threatened with personal or intimate pictures. That's where the other concern is, that how do you even track these scammers?
Absolutely, this is one issue, because see, only collateral tomorrow when you take loan, practically you have to give collateral. Now with this small digital lending app, the only collateral is they take access to your contact list, they take access to your phone, they take access to your social media, and what they do is once they take your intimate pictures, the second they morph the picture, third into a pornographic content, third they even put the picture and this they put it on websites like available for XYZ services which are not the legit services, and they put your picture and put it across and threaten you. So this is kind of this is purely illegal. It's a punishable offense, whereas IT Act, whereas IPC is involved. But problem comes is there are a lot of layers to reach these people, right from identity in WhatsApp, right from KYC norms when it comes to getting a SIM card, getting yourself registered on WhatsApp. The threat comes from WhatsApp messages, from WhatsApp calls.
Correct.
The threat comes from phone.
Correct.
So
I agree with you, Khushbu, where you're saying that there are multiple layers, and that's why it will actually need a very meticulous plan. I actually want to talk to you